What's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. I'm actually gobsmacked. It's so interesting. Obviously, us man, we're not famous, but time and time again, these celebrity cats, they all tend to, not all, but quite a large percentage of them tend to end up bugging out, don't they? The people you thought they were end up being not who they were. It's quite ironic. I didn't plan this, but this right here is an old video of the old AJ. Back when he was winning. Yeah, happy-go-lucky, and do you know what I mean? We haven't really seen that since. And obviously the pressures of life. There ain't no I'm sorry, yeah. I don't believe celebrity cats have any pressure. Pressure of what? You've completed the game. You man can sit back. The game's complete, yeah? So, please forgive me if I don't understand what this guy is bugging out for. And the worst thing is, Adam Smith even let it slip. He said, oh, AJ's angry, but after the fight he was kissing Usyk on the head, which is true. And that's why I told you in my last video, all this bugging out he be doing, it's contrived. He's trying to give an image of him being really angry he lost. But during the fight, we didn't get no signs of that. And let's not forget, people, it's not like, for years now, AJ fans have been telling me, oh, he didn't know, oh, his team didn't tell him, making excuses for him. Well, guess what? He knew this was the fight he had to perform in. And even so, he 5 out of 10 at best, 4 out of 10 at best. This was a 4 out of 10 performance. We've seen AJ back in 2017 be more ferocious, be more on it, be more dominant, be more alpha. AJ, almost by nature, used to set pace. He wouldn't wait to be second. Go and watch AJ versus Dillian Whyte. Show me where you see AJ waiting for Dillian Whyte to be first. No, AJ was worried about getting his own wick off. Yeah? In fact, all of AJ's fights in his prime, he was the one. He was worried about what he was doing. Simple as that. It was only until about 2019-ish, and it's not even just the Ruiz loss, because even if you watch the Ruiz fight, he went into that fight nervous and twitchy. And I said, actually, after that fight, I think AJ probably got changed out. I think AJ's probably been cloned in 2019. Yeah, maybe he had some sort of car accident, I don't know, but either way, that's what I think's the best explanation here. Just go, I've watched all of the old AJ documentaries. He used to be a cool and zen dude. Now he just all over the place. The old AJ never would have snapped at the students, even if they were rude. Now he out here looking like he trying to fight someone when he just had a 12-round fight to fight. All that energy, you had 12 rounds to expend it. What's that about? And I've been saying for a long time, AJ has looked soulless. When you look in his eyes, there doesn't seem to be much there. It looks as if almost he's having some sort of identity crisis. He wants to be, well, he says he wants to be some great dude, but his actions don't back that up. And it appears as if he's frustrated that he couldn't fulfill what he'd like to think of himself. But at the end of the day, it was in his hands. He had the opportunity to say, I want to be great, and show that, and try to show that. He could have gone out on his back tonight. Wilder did it. Wilder said, I'm winning, or I'm going out, spark out on my back. And that's what he did. AJ was too worried about self-preservation. He was too worried about worrying about what Usyk was doing. Which is fine, but that's why you're not considered to be great. That's why you don't have that Hall of Fame quality. We can all be great looking good winning, can't we? We can all be great looking good beating up old Pulev. But when you can't win as a default, what do you do then? That's what greatness is. AJ don't have it. That's what we now know for a fact tonight. Was he better than the first fight? Yeah, marginally. But the first fight wasn't good enough. Neither was this one. So I don't understand. I mean, who was he even going for? I'd love to know. This was typical, classical, hold me back in a bar fight. Yeah? Hey, oh, hold me back, hold me back. Why is he fronting for? Yeah? If AJ really wanted to beef someone, he could have calmed down, snuck over, and beefed whoever he wanted to beef. Now, I'm glad he didn't do that, because I wouldn't want AJ to sucker punch Usyk when he had 12 rounds to sucker punch someone as such. But I'd love to know what he was trying to accomplish here. And I believe this is AJ trying to show people that he is disappointed. AJ has heard the criticism after the first fight. Oh, why aren't you really upset that you've lost? I've been saying for a long time, AJ seems happy to lose, which he does. And even tonight, it appeared to me he happy. I mean, he can throw his towel on the floor and pretend he ain't happy, but I'm talking about people who really don't want to lose. They do something about it when it matters. He had 12 rounds to do something about it. He had 12 rounds to refuse to lose. And what gets me is, this fight was actually winnable. I'm sorry, Usyk is not a class apart at heavyweight. He's just not. AJ lost this fight. Usyk didn't win it in my book. This wasn't a case of, oh, well, AJ was clearly... There's no way AJ could have won the fight. Do you understand? There's certain fights you see people lose, and you say, listen, even the best AJ couldn't have won that fight. Never mind the best. I reckon a 7 out of 10 AJ would have beat Usyk tonight. This was a 4. The first fight was a 2. Do you understand? Even if AJ had a full tank of cardio, it would have been easy work. So I'm not sure. I hope, well, good luck hoping, but I hope in the post-fight press conference, some of the Goober interviewers, some of the Goober media question him, what's going on here? What's going through your mind? Why didn't you have that ruthless, beefy attitude, pub beef, drunk beef attitude when you had 36 minutes to do so? That's the question the fans must hear answered. It's no good trying to wig out in front of your peoples like you're going to do something when you didn't do nada for 12 rounds. And it's funny that you got all these clowns, all these man fans hanging around AJ, just clinging on. Look at them all as Klingons. It's really embarrassing, and this shows you, in my opinion, this right here is a man who has nothing but gobblers around him. Yeah, he just wilding out right now, and everyone around him's treading on eggshells, which tells me that AJ, he lives in his own bubble, and people tell him what he wants to hear. So I'm telling you now, people can't operate like that around me. I'd have told him straight, listen, boss man, you best sit down there and settle yourself. Yeah, because you didn't want it 10 minutes ago. You weren't moving like that. Yeah, you was moving moist. So don't be trying to carry on gully now. The thing's over. Yeah, sit down there, settle and reflect. And I suggest, if you feel like you got some of that beefy ting, you show it in your next fight. Save it for your next fight. Don't be, you know what I mean? Don't be moving gully now. The thing's over. The beef's done. Oops. Yeah. It's no good fronting now. That's what he should have been told by his peoples. Instead, they almost encourage and, oh, AJ, I'll hold you. I ain't holding no one. I'm telling you now, yeah. In that situation, I ain't holding no one. If you want to go over there, go over there. Do something, innit? Come on, big man. Just to prove a point. Yeah, and that's my advice. If your friend, yeah, is giving it the hold me back routine, let him go over there and get stuck in. I ain't holding no one back. You understand? If you want to go over there, big man. And I guarantee you, AJ wouldn't have gone nowhere. Yeah? And that in itself is weird. This guy's a multi-millionaire famous man, and he's trying to appear like he's more aggressive than he really is. It's really quite odd. But I'm convinced this ain't the same AJ that it was a little while ago. It's just not. I mean, look at this guy here. Where's that guy gone? And that's, to be fair, that is what losing will do. Losing will make you bitter, that's for sure. Yeah? It's hard to laugh when you're losing. It's God's honest truth. Yeah, simple as that. But still, that's why I said to you, man, a long time ago, that this guy needs to accept he hasn't got it and sit down somewhere. Retire and sit down. You haven't got it. It's no good being frustrated. Like, you know what I mean? Sit down and move on. Go do something else. Go play chess. You said you like chess? Go play chess. You've robbed the bank. AJ will go down as the biggest. When you look at, normally, yeah, sports, you look at ability versus income. Usually there's some sort of correlation. The more ability you have, the more income you make. AJ really is the textbook definition. AJ is number one in terms of sports earnings based on, because AJ isn't no Tiger Woods, for example. AJ isn't no Lewis Hamilton. He's not no whoever you want. But yet he's made their kind of money despite being a B-rate kind of guy. He needs to give praise and give thanks for cashing out. Yeah, that's what he needs to do. And if he respects himself, and if he respects the little bit of legacy he does have left, he needs to sit down somewhere. That's what he needs to do. Because unlike the reason, yeah, Chisora can carry on is because people will pay to watch someone dare to be great. No matter how... Chisora's only a C-level fighter, but most of the time he gets in there, he dares to be great. People can watch that. People don't want to watch a dude with a whole bunch of talent and no heart. I don't want to watch that. I ain't trying to see that. So sit down and retire. That's what must happen now. Otherwise, all you're doing is selling any respect you had for yourself. You're just cashing it in, bottom line. Because you're going to lose against Fury. You're going to lose against whoever else there is. You're just going to lose against them all. I'm not sure who he can beat now. I'm not sure if Joe Joyce blocks him with one. What's he going to do? I'm not sure if Daniel Dubois blocks him with one. What's he going to do? This really is a meltdown. Shocking. Disappointing. On the whole, no doubt.